Good morning. Welcome, FYI family. A very good morning to all of you, and we're delighted that you guys could join us for another day. It's Wednesday, the 22nd day of January. I almost said Thursday. I had to look there and just make sure. But grateful to have all of you with us today. How y'all doing? Edward and Paula, Siobhan and Siobhan. Good to have all of you on the live this morning, folks. It's always a privilege to be here. You wonderful folks, any given day. Good to have you on. And you all know, let me alert you all one time. Let me alert you all one time as we get closer and closer in this very hectic political period to the finish line. We are going to bring back our podcast during the midday hours just to ensure that you all get valid and credible information always. And we might be on weekends too, depending on how urgent the need is or how urgent we need to get out information to you folks to keep you all informed. We may be on the weekends too, just alerting you all. Just alerting you all. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Brian and Sheena, Erwin and Brenda, David and Joanna. How are you guys doing? Happy to be here with y'all. Happy to be outside. Deborah Pearson, good to see you on the live this morning. All right. Everett, good to have you too. Veronica, good to have all of you on the live this morning. I did make a note to myself mentally that I ought to thank all of the folks as we begin this morning who helped us out yesterday. Some folks sent a contribution our way, and we are so grateful. And you all know we like to share everything with you. So we're sharing that bit of information and also giving you guys the chance who have not been able to come on board as yet to do it. And I know some of you do it through YouTube, but we'd be happy if you use the link and help us to keep going. That would be we'd be so grateful this morning because this is the year we got a lot to do. And folks, when I think of the fact that we've been out here for 4 years, 4 years plus now doing this, I'm just in awe. When we started out, I didn't know we'd still be here. I didn't know we'd still be here. I kind of a little surprised myself. Kind of surprised myself a little bit here. So if you guys are surprised too, I don't blame y'all. We kind of surprise ourselves a little bit too. We didn't. You see, we just take one day at a time, sweet Jesus. Right, one day at a time. We didn't profess too much. We didn't have too many predictions. Sorry, trying to multitask here and wrecking myself up. We just started and hope for the best. We just started and hope for the best, and here we are. Here we are. Marlon says it's 19 degrees in Queens. Yep. 19 degrees in Queens. How's Albert Baldio doing? Marlon, you know that name? Albert Baldio? How's Albert doing? I'd be grateful to know. How is Albert doing? Please and thank you. Happy to have all of you all here with us. I see we got Marlon, as I said. I see we got Linden. We got Travaza, Diane, Deborah. I see we got Yolanda, Bertrand, Irvin Dunn. We see you there as well. Folks, we're happy, simply happy and delighted that all of you folks are here with us this morning. It's a privilege, At least I count it a privilege. We got lots of things happening, especially up north. I told you guys yesterday that Trump is a creator's dream. Right? Trump is a content creator's dream because he's a gift that keeps on giving. You could just do these kinds of programs with just Trump, and you'd have content day in, day out. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, the 47th, content day in, day out. And it's just so much. It's just so much that's happening. But let us start with our welcome to all of you. Right? And it comments. And it says Albert Baldwin telling his constituents to break the law. I found it fascinating. I didn't want to weigh in too much. You know, we don't interfere in the affairs of other countries. You know, we got a non-interference policy. So I didn't want to comment too much. But I thought that was quite striking. Here is President Trump saying something. And he said, y'all don't bother with it, you're crazy. Right? Don't report nobody who you know illegal and so on. Don't do it. For that $135. Am I correct? That's the going price if you report somebody to ICE? $135. Don't do it. Don't do it. And an elected official too. I found that a bit fascinating. I didn't want to say nothing. But as you mentioned it there, I thought it was interesting. Troy and Tanogni, Junan, good to have all of you on the live this morning, folks. Like I said, it's quite a few things happening. Right? Quite a few things happening. A lot of things, as a matter of fact. A lot of things happening. to put it bluntly. Plenty things happening. But good morning to all of you and welcome. Welcome, folks. And you know what? Why not let us start here? You know, we just wanted to run a couple things that we saw. As I said, Trump content creators' dream. Content creators' dream when it comes to Trump. And you know, I can make out the people put this thing for young people to read. Younger people to read it, right? That's what they're doing. They're kind of being a little facetious. But one of the things in the news this morning, hundreds of Capitol rioters released from prison after Trump's sweeping pardon. Is it 1,500 pardons? And apparently Trump had said to the leadership of the Republican Party, he had said to supporters that he wouldn't have done this for the violent offenders. Those who were really violent on January 6th, 4 years ago. So there was a lot of shock and surprise. There's a lot of shock and surprise. Look, I'm reading a fascinating book by an Israeli writer, philosopher, influencer, thought leader extraordinaire. Always fascinated by his insights. And the book is called Nexus. I hope I'm capturing it right. Nexus. I wrote his first book, and now I'm on this one here. Right? Yuval Harari, I think is his name. Fantastic Israeli writer. And one of the things that really stuck to me as I began reading this book, you all see me editing myself in real time. One of the things that Yuval says, Harari, right? It really struck me. It's like you know it, Marlene, Julie G, Pauline, Roxanne. It's like you know it, but yet you're hearing it for the first time. Hear what Harari says. Never summon powers you cannot control. As a friend of mine at City Council used to say, catch. When he asks you, you understand what I tell you? You're hearing me? Catch. Never summon powers, Gwyneth, you can't control. Baldeo them summon Trump. Baldeo, the Republican Party, they summoned Trump. I thought that was fascinating, and it comments. Never. Nexus is the name of the book. Fantastic Israeli writer. Never summon powers. Just started it, barely in a couple pages. Never summon powers you can't control. Yeah, that's one for you. That's one for you. So I'll just give you a run of some of the headlines as we on Trump. Because Trump is back and he plenty and enough. So hundreds of Capitol rioters, they're telling us, pardon, 1,500. And then look what he's done to John Bolton, who used to be his national security advisor. He has stripped Bolton of his security details, and there's been some threats to Bolton from a lot of places. So his, well, not his, but Secret Service apparently called Bolton, let's say today, and said, tomorrow 12 o'clock, you won't have any security. Have a nice life. Or a nice death. Either way, we gone. Yeah. Yeah. You can't leave people out in the cold like this because people disagree with you. Right? You can't do it. You know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of? Father of his mercies. Don't do it to people. Huh? You know what it reminds me of? You know, you see some films. You got a superhero, just got these powers. Right? And the only thing all the supernatural abilities focus on is on them. Right? These powers is not to help anybody. They might have a moment later in the film when somebody got to tell them, look, you got all this, but what have you done with it? You only focus on yourself. You only focus on yourself, yo. All this immense power. And all you think about is vengeance. Say strip Bolton. That's another headline. And then we see that he has removed U.S. Coast Guard Chief, who was the first woman to hold this position as chief, first female in U.S. Coast Guard. She probably disagreed with him somewhere. And then we spoke about the UN and Panama alerting the UN. This man here, he ain't been reading up in the little international relations of recently, so he won't come and take me territory now. And we saw some video with Hillary Clinton laughing in the background on the inauguration day when Trump talking about renaming the Gulf of Mexico. Could imagine Hillary must thinking this shit. What? Hear nonsense here. Huh? What stupidness here? And then we saw him pledging $500 billion US in artificial intelligence infrastructure. Friends, family, and favorites. The oligarchy. The swamp's drained yet? Has the swamp been drained as yet? And then finally, and we could go on now with these headlines in just one day, you know. But another interesting headline we saw takes us back to the tenor on which we started this broadcast this morning. Right. Immigrants and mass deportation. One headline says it's US and India to discuss concerns about irregular immigration. This is according to the State Department. Irregular immigration. Yeah. We're in what, day what? Day 3 now? We're in day 3 now? So this is some of what it looks like, folks. This is some of how it looks this morning, the morning after the day before. That's some of what we're following on that front, folks. And of course, we Got a couple other things locally that we're following as well. You know, a couple of things locally too. You know, we're happy for a little bit of good news. You ain't gonna put me on life support. So I'm happy for a little good news that can put a little bounce back in our step. And, you know, when it comes to our health, you can never be too careful. So we were happy when we saw this bit of news here, right? That the highly pathogenic avian influenza virus, known as the HPAIV, highly pathogenic avian influenza virus. The folks that they're prepared locally here, they are prepared. They have no recorded cases yet. They are prepared, they're set, they're ready, but no recorded cases as yet. And you know, the World Health Organization, PAHO, as well, they've been telling us for a little while now, prepare for the next pandemic. Put systems in place. And that's why I always loved listening to the former Director General of PAHO. You know, she's transitioned now. Dr. Carissa Etienne, the late Dr. Carissa Etienne, always on the forefront on these issues. We don't hear much. You know, you see the health minister every now and again, more again than now. Saw him yesterday. We can come to that in a second. Saw him yesterday emerge from hibernation like our friend Priya. You know, we can talk about that too. But I saw an emergence from Priya. Right? He says she wake up now. Saw a video with Trump at that inauguration, or he was somewhere, a stadium or someplace, and Trump is fighting to keep his eyes open. Oh, he had a battle there. He had a battle on his hands, and thanks to his wife, they said she wasn't allowing him to go down like Donald. You know, you create all this mischief in 24 hours, you can be tired. So apparently Melania was poking him or something. But when I saw that, I remember Priya. You know, I remember Priya right away. Right? We remember Priya right away when we heard that. I said, yeah. We could understand now why they put up that big billboard and so on. Kindred spirits, kindred souls. You know, it's a Priya. Yeah. Kindred spirits, Kirk, Waveney, Shamila, Upright Youth. So we're grateful. We're prepared. That's what the boys say. That's what they say. We're prepared, but we have no reported cases as yet. As I said, that's one of the things that we got our eyes on. And then they're telling us out of the Court of Appeal. They're telling us out of the Court of Appeal. Let me come a little center. Out of the Court of Appeal, that we can get some additional Court of Appeal judges dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And of course, you know by now, we've been talking about how everything in this country somehow has to have complexion. You know? You gotta be loyal. You can't get no dissenting views. You gotta kiss the ring. I get some neck. Kiss the ring, you know? Some folks were concerned that these proposed judges, you need some diversity. You eat okra every day. But we wanted to tell you where this started, to remind you, and perhaps to have you remind us as well, where some of this started. Wasn't it Law Week, Lawyers Week, Judicial Week? But 2 years ago, you heard the Chief Justice lamenting, we're tired, we getting sick. The caseload's too much. Send us some help. You think, you know, they can take credit now. Oh, look, we have added 10 justices to the bench. Huh? But you have to haul them over coals, hold their feet to the fire, pressure them, shame them, beat them to get it done. Initiative? Focus on the wrong things. So we're happy to hear that they're getting that sorted out. Delighted to hear you're getting that sorted out. And then there's a fantastic letter in today's press. Gentlemen sent this Stats Department in Statsin. The Stats Department, not Statsin, Ramesh Kampat. You know, I didn't agree with everything he said. But that, folks, Jesus, folks, we ain't got $1 million, right? Yet, you know, a lot of people might be coming home. We ain't got $1 million yet. What is it? $2 billion, 2 years later. Bureau of Statistics. What is it? How long does Trinidad take to do theirs? Jamaica. God forbid Haiti. We got 17 of us here. 17 more might be coming. Mass deportation. Huh? That's 25. You don't know being good with the maths. Or it's 23. Whatever it is. Why this thing taking so long? Huh? You might got one borough in the Queens might got the population we got in this whole country. Albert Baldeo territory. Richmond might got more than we got here. How long is it taking Richmond to do the census, Marlon? How long is it taking Queens? Let me say New York. But I wouldn't put myself past New York because New York is million. New York State. Why this taking we so long? And you tell me them boys them playing pokery with them numbers. And the people said that they were boasting it's the first time they did it, what's the word? Digitally. Right? Anybody got no time to write in nothing out? Tick, 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 back, 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 back. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Done. Submit. So why the numbers taking so long? Kanye should have been able to see this information collate in real time. Why are you taking so long? It falls on the up and up, right? And we're not fiddling with the numbers. Right? I don't agree with everything Gampat said. I don't agree with it. But a couple of things. Talking about letters to the editor, I saw one by GHK Lal. Budget 2020, 2025. Budget 2025. All the frills and the shrills. And I like how the header for this letter, I think Sabbath News, I saw it in. Lounge says, yeah, you ain't got nothing world class. In Guyana budget 2025. There's nothing world class about it. Jilly G, nothing world class. I think we could put it another way. You ain't got nothing to write home about here. Right? If through this budget you had met Ashley for the first time, you know, you're a young lady of a certain age, you met Ashley for the first time, there ain't nothing here to write home about. No. Nothing to write home about. The debates on budget 2025 starts on Friday, 24th. And then it continues on Monday. We're going to be taking you guys through the pace. Only here. We're going to be taking you through the pace. Not to bother. Not to worry. Val incredible all the way. Folks, these people unbelievable, nothing. No work. No. $7 trillion later. None to see, none to see. That's the point the man they're really making. None to see here. Edward Waveney, Anthony, nothing world class. Nothing. And all that spending. You remember this one here? We showed you this doctor to Mary Health Center. She ain't had no malice. Malice is an intent. It's not accidental. It was an interesting word I had a different appreciation for when I read for my LLB, my Bachelor's of Law. Some of y'all think it's a pound of flour I read for. You know, when you did criminal law and you're looking at issues like murder and manslaughter, I'm a lecturer be proud this morning. You gotta form intent for it to be murder. Or as they say, you have to have the mens rea. Right? And you learn about malice aforethought. You conjure the thing up. You had a plan. You intended a certain outcome. Doctor had all of that. They bring the thing, they say outreach. We want to show chubby chicks on the ground. And Tinas, he's a groundsman. Like that, I went in to move a little bit. They just fly in and drive out. You fly in a cherry dragon and then you zoom out. They really stop and talk to nobody there for a little while. Susan didn't TikTok herself in there before. You see, some of them visiting these places for the first time. They're visiting Melanie for the first time. And then Priya sleeping on the walk. So she didn't have the schools. That's why she now know Melanie Nurse. She's calling bap, May 26th. Right? There's a whole set of sleepers. Frank sleeping too. That's what he know happening in the health center. Yesterday we saw Irfan Ali suddenly meeting with had a 5:30 with regional health officers and the clinic people, the health centers people. Why? Because we put up the video and that video has gotten over 100,000 views. So they're responding to the numbers. I saw some crazy Looney Tune person like Trump saying,
You need to unlock your iPad first.
Y'all didn't show Trump's response. Y'all didn't show, same difference. Y'all didn't show Irfan's response. Why does that matter? Why does it matter what he said? Why does it matter? What we know, the system not working. It's not working. So they had a meeting yesterday. And of course, it was a showpiece. People reading out all that has been happening in the regions, health-wise. Tell the people out there, because we don't believe it. It's like when Irfan goes to National Assembly and says instantaneously 200,000 per household. And then you get online and you say, check and print yet. Oh yes. You're reading a lot of things on paper. But in reality, the lived experience is totally different. The thing look nice on paper, fastest growing economy, biggest GDP, high income country. They look nice, but the lived experience, it's night and day. Starbucks News didn't just take what the doctor say. Starbucks News visited to Mary. You know, wish we had the resources to divide ourselves up like that. But you all know Starbucks News, they're about longer than us. And some we don't even want to send them $5 to help us to keep the program going. Y'all think we're begging. See, and that's the difference. Starbucks News has a physical newspaper. They can offer ads, ad space. We don't have that. Government buys ad space to advertise. By law, they have to do that. By law, they ain't gonna give you nothing. And y'all could see, let's say Nigel Supermarket advertising with us. It's our content heavy. And it's by us, so we want, we like y'all, we like what you're saying. You know, I like when I go in some government places and people respond to the rec. Let's watch the show. Keep going. We like what you're doing. You know how. You know how. But we understand. We understand the territory under which we operate. And that's why we rely on you guys. You know, and your better angels, of course. Your better angels, of course. You go in GRA and they say, we like what you're doing. You got the foot to the fire. Pull them over the coat. It's only Terrence information in there though. Businessman Terrence Campbell. You know, I think Jack Dio knows. This got the, what do you call it? The signature of Jack Dio all over it. So once you start talking up, you pay taxes yet? Huh? Let me see what GRA is saying. This is so Jack Dio. It is so Jack Dio. God himself. We got to come down. You hear me? And tell me otherwise. God himself. But it's because of the, you see we're in a season here. And Campbell talked a little too much. You know, Campbell has been on the the Natural Resource Fund Board for a couple months now. They had no problem with he and GRA. They had an issue with him and GRA. Now, folks, Terence has some thoughts. I believe this country should go in this way. I think we should do this and that. No. Your thoughts don't congeal with ours. Like I saw the dictionary this morning, boy. Your ideas is not incongruent with ours. Stay sure. What we got on this man? I'm not saying Station leaked the information, by the way. I'm just using an example of somebody he might call. But you know somebody, GRA leaked the information. Somebody at GRA leaked the information. Damn it. Somebody did it. Soon as you start. And so I see with people. Some people help us, and they say, don't call me. Sometimes it's people overseas. They just want to come when they want to come. They want to go when they want to go. They never bug down with no harassment by no government. Because they know, like Trump, you get great powers. And you're not using it for anything useful. You're so small-minded and vindictive. GRA said they can probe who leaked it. How many people can probe themselves? How GRA can probe GRA? If we can get an investigation why the vice president was in the living room with investors, the more they are to the deal, we can get outcome from this. We can get outcome from who leaked Terence Campbell tax information. But this is the wickedness. The wickedness. Wickedness. Soon as you decide to have an opinion. I know fellow parliamentarians who don't get a cash grant. You know? Kudos to them. That money belongs to Guyanese. I sign up for my own too. Money don't spoil. And we got a lot of things to do with money around these parts. I telling you, are we trying to come off the grid, knowing the season we're heading into? That's going to cost us a tidy penny, but $1 million. Who want to help us with that? Yeah. But my check to be printed. You know, we got a couple of parliamentarians in this country, not like India. And you telling me 65 checks, 65 checks, 64 printing is one you're struggling with? Huh? They came to the National Assembly, and registered us. We had a sitting just before, or I think it was early November. We had a sitting, they registered all of us. Take out your photograph, you know, ask for blood sample, stool sample, all kinds of things. Right? A lot of colleagues got the check. I'm still waiting to be printed. Folks, we ain't gonna detain ourselves on that. But I said I can probe who leaked businessman Terence Campbell information. You know, as I said, he sits on the Natural Resource Board. And he was saying just the other day that this board ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing one thing. First thing, he got money to preside over. And then boy digging out everything. digging out everything. They went and they changed the act, the Natural Resource Fund Act, twice. They had put a cap on how much they could take out, and then they went back and changed that. And it's only because they'd already taken out everything. They went back a third time and changed it. Because if it's up to them, they would change and say, I could take out 150%. Spend, baby, spend. Spend, baby, spend. And well, I had it ready the first time. Us, we run that. We're talking about leaks. We're talking about leaks. Apparently the coalition leaders have been meeting. Right? Since Saturday, of course, because the Alliance for Change executives mandated the leadership of the Alliance for Change. Whoever you got to talk to, we want to win this election. Talk to Arbery, talk to Mohammed, talk to Trump, talk to the nice guy in Brazil, Bolsonaro, whoever you got to talk to. The Alliance for Change did that on Saturday. And then we saw an agreement signed. We work with lightning speed, We work with lightning speed, An agreement signed yesterday. It's kind of efficiency we want in government. Only the Chinese could beat me with efficiency. Them men can build roads overnight and proper roads. Not this nonsense biscuit thing, broken up, 2 weeks in. 2 weeks guarantee. So, an agreement was signed apparently yesterday. But one of the clauses of the agreement was not to make it public until the appropriate time. They wanted to make sure that the process had gotten some momentum. You see? Sometimes you gotta hold the carrots close to your chest. Sometimes you gotta hold it close. You want Andrea know? Right? Where your hand? You want Marlene read your hand here? You want Desiree? Read your hand. But apparently somebody leaked the document. Somebody leaked the document. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Who, me? Not me. But then is who? Two in a room. You got the paper and I got the paper. I ain't leak it. It's who leak it? We got launch a COI now. Who leak? So them waves had a big story yesterday that we were signed and going down the road. Right? That's according to them waves that the thing was signed and sealed and we going down. That's what them wave says. But apparently it's a staged system. You got the first stage. I heard some folks say general elections, that's not as an aside, kind of. Let me make a detour a little bit. General elections could be as soon as July. Back to regular programming. So you got a first stage, you got a second stage, you might got a third and a fourth. Who knows? Things change. Like how we didn't plan for the document get leaked, but the document get leaked. Things change. First stage, second stage, right? So the first stage apparently, hold on. Let me take it to there. What Leader of Lines for Change, Nigel Hughes said just last evening, after the information got out there was a press conference by the Alliance for Change, and Leader of Alliance for Change, Mr. Hughes, put out a statement. Take a listen.
The statement. The AFC remains committed to contesting these elections on its own, if necessary. That is the position of the party. We have been authorized by our executive to enter into discussion with other parties. We believe that with some parties, it is better to have documented the parameters of our engagement just so that we are all on the same page. However, there is no change in our commitment to enter into these elections on our own if necessary, and any parties which will engage with us in the interest of the country. We intend to enter into similar agreements to protect the terms of any arrangement with any other party. The present agreement, that is the agreement between ourselves and APNU, which we signed today, is on life support. The terms of the agreement, which we've entered into today, will be shared with the press in due course. That ends the statement that I wish to read.
Yeah, folks, to be honest, I'm still rationalizing. I am still rationalizing some of that, because you all know in politics, we know in politics when people say something, you got, there could be a lot of meanings in words. That's what I really want to say. Right? In words, you could have a lot of meaning. Y'all remember Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky? You remember that? It was so long ago. Only the real political savvy and activists, only the real political junkies. You remember when Bill Clinton, somebody asked him a question, and he picked out a word in that question. He said, "What's the definition of is?" You could have a short statement, all right, but each word is so potent. Each word is so potent. What's the definition of is? We in or out? We in or out? I might be one, but I'm a stakeholder. I've told y'all I am for coalition. 200%. This is my true statement. 200%. We in or out? This thing is not 2030, This thing is running. And I'm talking to coalition leaders. We got to pick up the pace a little bit. As the British said, get on with it. We ain't got to pick up the pace a little bit. Next election is not 2013. This is not 2015. Don't let me fight the last war. Don't let's do it. We ain't got to pick up the pace. And the leaders in this joint opposition parties, leaders of the joint opposition parties, we got to turpentine some of this thing, I can see the comments with you all there. I can see the comments that y'all are putting there. Look, y'all not fooling around. For lots of you there, this is serious business. Right? Serious business. I should have done this earlier. Should have done this earlier. But I'm going to shoot something at you folks. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Shoot something at you good folks. You know, we got so much happening out there. We gotta pull this together. Please, as quickly as we can. Let's pull it together. Forgive me. I'm sending you some information. Hopefully it goes through. Hopefully. All right. So as I said, we got a lot of work. Tell me if you're seeing something flying past your head on your TV or what have you, your smartphones. And you know, this morning I was in all sorts of mood, but I think I'm ready to unplug yet. In fact, this agreement is getting up to March 31st. I thought you'd be on the one banner marching, you know, running past March, getting set to put these people in a garbage bag and pull them down by the roadside. But let's give the folks the benefit of the doubt. They said they give themselves a outside deadline, March 31st, to come to an agreement. To be or not to be, we in or we out. I have promised I'm not going to use the platform here. We ain't going to attack coalition partners one way or the other. We got enough fire coming from the other side. But we got to pick up the pace a little bit. I'm of the firm belief we cannot do it alone. And any side who decides they're going alone, they must come to the Guyanese public and say, take 5 more years of the PPP. I'm not prepared to do that. And I'm not seeing things as I want them to be. I'm seeing things as they are. That's my true statement. I'm 200% coalition. But if you want to spend the dice, go by yourself. Be mature enough to come to the Guyanese people and say, take 5 more years of the PPP. So I'm of the firm belief that we can't do it alone. None of the sides. We cannot do it alone. None of the sides. None of the sides. We can't do it alone. We won't be the PPP, we want to see how strong we are individually. We won't be the PPP, we want a personality contest. Maybe we're desperate enough. Maybe we haven't been hurt enough. Maybe y'all. Because I ain't had it to hear by now. Maybe some people have been in the struggle long enough. From the recount, I haven't taken a break, you know. From the last campaign, I ain't take a break. I was in the last administration at a low level, fighting for my life. I still fighting. I ain't take a break yet since 2020. So maybe some people got the time on their hand. They got the energy. Another 5 years in government. I have promised myself. I want to see growth, incredible sources. I want to see growth in what we do here. But I don't plan to get to 50 and be out here saying, let's fight, and let's say it publicly. Right? I would like to see somebody else come, take the seat. Right? And I could do some other things behind the scenes. And we need information. And I got to spend some time building this thing. I got to spend some time building this thing. I want to see us in government. And then I'd like to spend some time building credible sources with the team into a formidable communication process, that supports the team that is in government working hard. And I want to ensure that people continue to get valid and credible information all the time, 24 hours a day. That's dreams I got for myself, and I ain't tell you half of it. I got some dreams for my family. I got some dreams for my son. I ain't gonna out here saying fight, 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 fight. And people behind the scenes and care who fighting. No. No. Like Pascal said, every man must know his limitations. Right? So I will run with this as far as I can. And I don't intend to do this. When I meet 50, I want to focus on some other things. As I said, one of them is building it. I ain't giving it up. I'm moving up the scene where this communication apparatus is concerned. But I want to go on and do some other things too, to show it up. And I don't have to do it like this from the front all the time, Catch? But I ain't ready to unplug yet. We're pushing on the end of January already, and then we're in February, and then we're in March. Right? I personally think March is too late. That's my personal thinking. Right? We should have had this done a year ago. We should have had this done a year ago. Right? Internally, when we engaged the People's National Congress reform on this, when I was in leadership of the Alliance for Change, we both said, you know what, we're going to have some change in leadership, and we don't want to get into something that a new leadership might disagree with. And so we left it to after the internal elections, which I think was last year, July. And that's why I said we should have done this a long time ago. Right? But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see if we can have an agreement by March month 10. Try to do some things. We can whip some ourselves into, continue to whip ourselves into a fighting force, and give this PPP a run for the money, pack them up in the black bags, the garbage bags, and put them down by the roadside. We in or out? I in. I'm in. You know I there. You know I there. I in. Right. Coalition or nothing. I in. That's going to do it for us this morning, folks. Let us leave it there. That's going to do it for us this morning. I'm tempted to unplug. Let us leave it there for a little while and give the process a chance for a little while. Let's run on and see what the end will be. Guys, thanks for joining us this morning. Luan and Lester, Clyde and Edward, Mark and Liddy. Liddy, is it 526 or is S26? The glasses. JLG, 5 something. Marcia Rowena, Esther, thanks for joining us. We're going to see you guys on the next side. 1,300 of you. 1,300 plus. I don't round up or round down. I just look at it. Whatever the big number is. 1,300 plus if you're on the live this morning. Thank you guys so much. That's going to do it for us in this set. That's the time, folks. That's our program. We all stay safe. Till we see you guys on the other side of the day. Stay safe.